true and faithful relation of what passed for many years between Dr. John Dee and some spirits, according to Meric Casaubon, 1659. Of course, this is derived from the Cotton Appendix. This is the letter to John Dee and Edward Kelly. Magnifique Domine Carissime Amica eo fratres ad litteras vestras nihil responder potue quando quidem par suas mehe letteras de Rosenberg de suo eo sacie ipsias a tu significaveras volue primum qua mehe necentur audir et eloqua nova effent vel non audita dominationem vestram magnificum tenuo cateorum redere. Hare noctu salus ad me venet de a Rosenberg relicto sacio in monasterio meo coroniense dimidium ab hinc mediare de negotias mehe multa exposuit de quibus ute intellexe ex ipso eo rum vestres mag significaverit ute potue intelliger setis circumspecte eo provid negotia sunt tractata usque huc eo spero etiam fideliter ad omnia ista responde prout sapissime ame intellexistis eo nuper etiam litteres qua ele decenda putabam dam vestra scripse tata res videtur consider in adjuvandis aliquibus personas pecuniarum aliquo auxilio eo prout eo scriptum sive memorial mehe tradidit quod transmitto dam vestres per legendum eo considerandum eo post mehe remitatur oro carissime domine scitus qua sit voluntas domine proxima actio eo alea mehe videtur annunt ipsas adjutandas fiat secundum ipsias cujus omnia sunt voluntate eo misericordissima disposition eo expediantur eo celerius prout cum domino advardo locute sumus ipse respondeant domino altissimo eo potentissimo de fide quam ipse praestabunt sin vero eliter visum furiae omnipotente domino fiat ita rogo dama vestras magnum quam admentissim ps fuus suis adium orationibus eo medias domino vobis traditis eo concessus promovit eo adjuvetis domine die nostra opus eo voluntatem exque socius romansit in monasterio ut supra dictum eo conclusicum domino Schombergio ut nec veriam nec tractam cum illo certis de causis quas vobis significabit eo a me etiam intelligentis tamen uto eo sit medias contentas de tuabis vel trebis medibus teleorum ipse procurabitur ad quadam sibi necessaria comparanda in luceo sperat ipsum benefor contentum pro tempore mode catera qua majora sunt propter reliqua ut supra scripse procurentur ego non sum ab imperator vocatus sed meam de aliquibus expedivit sua majestas sent entiam de quibus rescripse ut duciet de actione intellexe dam vestras peritas ad prescriptum diem esse vere bene est semper nas paritas esse decet eo convenit ipse begnissim qua in nobis dissunt sua misericordia eo clementia in arabile proficiat placet mehe sent entia dam vestrarum eo qua initio eo in pro oemeo actionis proponere veletis de quo me informabitis ad hoc me ponam eo expectabo humiliter responsum qua proponenda potabam nulla sunt area nesse illa. Se imperator de rebus Polonic a me quicquid scitare velet aut suspicion aliqua de me concepta aut singento sibe aliquid commodo me gerere de beam se imperator de succession regne hujus pro fratre aliquid tracter velet quomodo me gerere debiam se erectio Polonica successura sit quid de bonus mais paternis disponat dominus eo mehe quid faciendum debeo ne de negotio polanico la quacam elector Brandenburgico aut aliquo principe imperii confidenter confere vel non cum quibus quando eo qua ragion se milis aliquis conducendus eo quando se pontifex aut imperator de personas dom vestrarum velet aliquid attenter vel eas interum relegere vel quavis modo perturber quid agendum eo ipsis respondendum sede thesauro nobis congredito ad quid cassare sed communicandum quantum eo quomodo se imperator mea opera ute velet pro agendis committees in Moravia eo Silesia se hoc susciper munus debium de catere humiliter supplicant ut me ita disponer dignatur altissimus ut sibi sale praecium eo servium fidelitur eo constanter ad sua nominis atorum gloriam eo republica Christiana salutem sedam vestra putant aliqua amitenda aut qua offender passent per amorem die oro bene considerant amittant aut amendant pro sua pietate eo prudentia unum est quod a messe de propositionibus quod constiturum in animo de thesauro domine mehe benign concesto aliquas fundationis hic in patria iste constituere Deus scit mentem meam quem nihil latet se placet hoc meam misericordissimo Domino propositum vel non et praesertum se mehe aleo divina ita disponente gratia sit commigrandum verum patria mea cognoscat eo tota posteritas quod ama verum ilium eo optim de salut ipsorum eo posteritatis sincerum dat promovea faria 5 post Pascha anno 1587 vester ex animo eo frater eo amicus sinceras gu ilmus mano propria. And in nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Gloria Patri et Filii Spiritu Sancto, sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper et in secula seculorum. Amen. And before we share the last bit, let's get into a little bit of translation. And so William Rosenberg to Dee and Kelly, he considers them noble masters and friends and brothers in faith. And Lord Schoenberg and his company, dealing with them, he was unable to respond. And he approached him in a monastery, and there were some things he couldn't understand. So, we're going to end up with questions here, right? And he answered regarding what was understood from him. And he understands what's going on. Is the point is in helping people. And the point of the actions is that things are going to be realized and that God's will is going to be done. And he just asks that they continue in doing his will. Well, not just, but, and so Schoenberg and his companion stayed in the monastery. And they wanted 2 or 3,000 thalers. I'm not sure of the what that currency translates to. But he hopes to be summarized. To be satisfied through such matters. So it's not just about some deed; it's a certain amount of money that they want. And he understands what's going to happen, and he wants to be ready for the action when it happens, and he'll organize himself accordingly. His mood and all that sort of stuff. And clemency is granted. But the things to be proposed were, what's he to do when he asks about the Polish situation? What is, what's the case about the emperor and the succession of his kingdom by his brother? If there is going to be a Polish election, what is God's will considering his ancestral dominion? And should he trust the Brandenburg elector? Or is there any other prince of the empire or not over with? Should he hire soldiers? Should, what are we to do if the Pope or the Emperor has any plan against you again? How much and in what fashion should the Emperor be trusted? should one take the opportunity if the emperor wants to hold Moravian and Silesian assemblies? The numbers drop off, but I guess with every paragraph. The pleasing, let Dee and Kelly continue to supplicate regarding serving and protecting the Christian polity. I don't really think it's Aristotelian polity, but would ever be ascribed to Christendom in any form. But if I'm wrong, point it out. I'd like to. Anyways, should there be some things that are omitted in telling of this? And are there things that they're going to offend? Is number 10. Number 12, and he loves his country. And the questions for Rosenberg are, the third action has things that are going to be asked. And so, that they're ready to receive a warning, instruction, or information, something for consolation. And they're asking for another operation, and should they hurry to Crom law or not? And rumbling the tumbler. And they want answers. The seed of, these are the questions to follow in what we're about to read. They want to know more about the use of that powder that they've acquired. And they want formal answers. The stuff particularly contained regarding the 12 questions. And, the Moscow prince was favorable toward them. And they want information regarding the will of the mission in that respect. And should they prepare the Philosopher's Stone? It's a thing of mind. It's a thing of hands. It's a physical and a psychological thing. And what about that practice with the iron cup and the glass funnel and the lime and so on? It's not having the success that they thought it might. What is the true understanding of this? Again, I would think spiritual alchemy, right? They want good health of different types for Thomas Kelly. They're supplicating regarding Joanna Kelly. Oh, here they're spelling it different. J-O-A-N-N-A. There was no. It was J-O-N-E another place and J-O-A-N-E in another place, but so she was blessed with a child. Was it Edward Kelly's child, actually, or was it Dee's child? If they were all, going through, they were sharing each other all alike, but they basically want fruitfulness with her husband. And on behalf of Jane D, there's thanking of her freeness from her sickness regarding her womb and some other things. Is the medicine working as well as as it thinks? They want a sign regarding a remedy, and that sort of stuff. And 11 is the situation of England and the Queen, but the questions to the king are supposed to be foreign for God, you would say. I couldn't exactly read that, so in full. So excuse my fumbling, you could say. In acción terta propenda, one. Deo omnipotente, Patre, Fideo, Ero Spirito Sancta, affirmas nos humilime paratas ad divina majestas pro sua gloria el nostra consolation maxima fora pravideret el decreveret humiliter requerimus an hic planaria hac transigetur actio vel an nobis ad chromaveam cum necessaris nostris rebus el quibus eris quitum properandum suret has nostre domine Rosenbergiae questiones 12 generalis el area quacunc in aestem particulariter continentur humiliter affirmas tam adjusquam nostro nomen illa talia expectantes responsa qualia a sede majestatis divina in suorum servorum consultationibus proceder eu adem eu semper solunt et quia in aestem questionibus nulla facta est mentio de uso pulveris quem sibi divinitas concussum habet eu eloquentias preas dictum furet quod in hac action informeretur de aereas pulveris uso nos jam humiliter idem desideramus informationem et quia extraordinarius este vehemens favor Moscoviticae principis erga me incognitum jam est mihi o motus et es contestatus eo manifestus ego deo optimo maximo gratias quantas possum maximas quia incirtus sum ad quem finem Deus idem et jus verum egra me diriger velet humiliter peto eu mihi a te omnipotens Dios informatio adorado esto sin eo voluntate tua in hac parte eo quomodo et justem nuncies responder debeam seque jam venerant de catero an nam debeam ne nots met et spanner ut alias et agotes praemonteam est ut hic lapidem philosophorum ex methodo dunstane conficeamus qua methodas quia mihi non constat sape me hactenus ficit videre quasi in hoc labor sordum atiosum vel ignavum ubi contra quam est paratus animus meus eo manus eo pedes eo omnes virus tam enime quam corporis mai tu noste toc odius testis esto meas. And I can't finish this because there's a couple minutes that I can't record.